This is a huge warning for 2024. This video is extremely important for all Americans and people worldwide. What I'm going to share with you today is just my opinion. Don't make any financial moves based on this or any moves with your family based on this, but just listen to the logical circuit that I'm going to express to you through my own understanding, my 8 to 9 hours a day of research, and the things that I am practically applying to my life. So in this video, I'm going to break down how you're going to see a massive separation in between the left and right. And 2024 is going to be the greatest year of some people's life, and it's going to be one of the most destructive, chaotic years of a lot of people's lives. Some people call it the rapture. Some people call it the great awakening. Some people call it the great reset. But I'm here to tell you, you will come back to this video in 2025 and you will see that this is very, very accurate. So, my name is Coach JV. What I work to do is make complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. To be completely transparent, if you've been following my content, I was broke on my parents' couch after they shut my business down during the pandemic. So, I made a commitment to transform not only my financial life, my spiritual life, and understand that the system is not rigged against you. It is designed for you to win, but you have to go through the path of difficulty to get there. And when you realize that these tax codes are not designed against you, that if you dive into it, the system is designed for you to win. And if you love God with all your heart and you love humanity as you love God, you will win in the end. So I'll dive into all that in just a moment. So what we've done is we helped over 8,000 warriors worldwide, and I have some free resources for you. Number one is people always ask how I insure my wealth. I talk about it all the time in tier one capital. So in these volatile times, I insure my wealth and index universal life. I'm a licensed agent. I have licensed agents in all 50 states. In the description of this video or in my platform, my social media platform, you can set up a free consultation. We're not going to ask you to send us money. We're not asking about your portfolio. You'll get a call and a message from my team saying you're from Coach JV's team. It's an insurance contract. So these scammers are out of control. We're not asking about your portfolio. That's not me on WhatsApp. I am not communicating with you. I also have a free 16-page guide in the description of this video. On the end of every video, if you've never been here before, if you choose to stay, I break down exactly what I'm doing in 2024 to 2025. So let's dive in. So I'm always going to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective. Now, I just watched the documentary last night. Documentary. That was subconscious, right? Or predictive programming right there. I just watched the Netflix show Leaving the World Behind. There is so much predictive programming in that, guys. I'm not going to get into it on this, but there is so much predictive programming and it matches up dramatically close to what I've been speaking about. Guys, the country right now is going to go into civil unrest as we go into 2024. Here's why. I'm going to show you stuff around Elon Musk. I'm going to show you stuff around Trump. Again, this is about taking your bias lens off, taking the right and left lens off, and just looking at it from a logical circuit, guys. It is about to get wild. Like I said, there's going to be a group of people that are depressed, angry, fighting an invisible enemy. They're going to go deeper into depression. And there's going to be people who are expanding their consciousness, who are going to raise up into a higher frequency and transform their family's life financially, spiritually, and mentally. But guess what? It always ends up we win in the end, guys. But there's a big transition. 2024 is massive. Okay. So this stuff happening right now, we're going to watch this narrative around Elon Musk, what's happening. Now, remember, I showed you that video where he told advertisers to F off. That I told you was the gap or the gap, the trigger around the great transition or the great reset. There's now going to be a separation in between left, right, conservative, non-conservative, right? It's going to cause this massive divide, and it's all by design to get us to point out each other's differences, so we're not focused and we're looking this way. My prediction, well, let's watch a couple videos, and I'm going to share with you. You want to pay attention around December 25th through about January 15th. I believe there's going to be some big distractions that are going to make you look this way. And I think through that process, you might see a Bitcoin ETF get approved. You're going to see some news come out that's just going to get pushed off to the sidelines, and it's all going to be pushed into these narratives right here. They're going to put so much attention right here, and there's going to be some crazy stuff happening behind the scenes that when you wake up and the dust settles, you're going to see that you were looking the wrong way.
Commissioner Brendan Carr is the man raising the red flag here. He joins me now. The Justice Department, Brendan, recently sued SpaceX for discriminatory hiring practices. The SEC has a probe going on into X. it seems like there's a big swirl around Elon Musk suddenly. What's going on?
Yeah, thanks so much. Look, I think it's
Yeah,
obvious.
so that's key. There's a swirl around Elon Musk going on because he basically told everybody to F off. Okay. He also brought back the most banned people in the world back on X. Okay. So he's bringing back the most banned people. Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox News. He is exploding on X. You had Andrew Tate, who got deleted. He got brought back onto X. You had what's his name? Oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. Alex Jones, right? He was brought back, right? So now these are all triggers of the massive separation of consciousness, guys. The left consciousness and the right conscious. The logical, or the left hemisphere of the brain, the carnal mind, and the high frequency God frequency mind, the 90%. The carnal mind, left side, the right side, higher consciousness. Okay. This is a repetitive pattern over and over again.
To everyone what's happening here. I think it goes back to the White House. Last year, President Biden stood behind the podium adorned with the official seal of the President of the United States and said that Elon Musk is worth being looked at. He was asked by a reporter how. The president looked down and said there's a lot of ways. And in fact, there are. Since then, we've seen a deluge of actions by the administrative state, as you noted, the FAA, the DOJ, the FTC, the NLRB, even the Fish and Wildlife Services have been looking into Elon Musk. And as you noted, the FCC, where I work, just this week, we issued a decision that raked back a 2020 award of nearly $1 billion to bring high-speed internet services to rural Americans in a decision that simply doesn't make any sense when viewed from the lens of the facts or the law or the policy. In fact, we made up an entirely new standard and applied it to only one entity, which was...
So let that sink in. They applied one standard for one entity, Elon. They don't want this Starlink out to the rural areas. What's going on, guys? I don't know. Comment down below. What do you think is happening? Okay. More news around it. The FCC ambushes Elon Starlink, right? All of a sudden, they're ambushing the hell out of Elon Musk. Why? Why? Think about that. You have to use logic in this, guys. But here's the cool part about this. Well, there's nothing cool about this. Let me take that back. Sorry, God. Here's the thing about this. In historical patterns, if you pay attention and you understand what's happening, you take care of your family, you build a relationship with God, you build some principles and foundations, you'll see that the most wealth spiritually, mentally, physically is done during these times. So prepare your family.
A 2022 decision to deny Elon Musk's Starlink internet service nearly $900 million in rural broadband subsidies earlier this week. The two Republican commissioners on the five-member FCC dissenting from the decision. Senior Republican FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr writing this in his dissent. Quote, after Elon Musk acquired Twitter and used it to voice his own political and ideological views without filter, President Biden gave federal agencies a green light to go after him. Today, the FCC adds itself to the growing list of administrative agencies that are taking action against Elon Musk's businesses.
Isn't this the pot calling the kettle black? Isn't that so weird, right? It's like this, we're literally in the crosshairs of little kids having adult fits, guys. That's what it is. Sovereignty is here, man. Sovereignty is here. So chairs of group that led effort to boot Trump from, oh, this is the next narrative, right? So the chairs group that led effort to boot Trump from Colorado ballot donated to Biden. I mean, guys, it's going to go on and on and on, and you're going to see it's going to get extremely chaotic. Extremely chaotic.
We begin this morning with a Fox News alert from President Donald Trump vowing to fight back after being removed from the GOP primary ballot in Colorado. The state Supreme Court ruling that Trump violated the 14th Amendment of the Constitution because of January the 6th.
The Colorado Supreme Court confirmed that the district court got it right, that he did engage in insurrection. I think Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has to apply to the presidency, because if not, it's a get out of jail free card.
Literally, Jack Smith, who would charge Donald Trump with absolutely everything, including jaywalking if he could get away with it, didn't even charge Donald Trump or most of the rioters on January 6th with insurrection.
Presidential candidate and former governor.
Okay, guys, this is getting wild, guys, getting wild. So this is the dog and pony show, guys. It's going to get really, really chaotic. Okay. So now there's something else going on here, guys. So around January, for some reason in January, the federal judge orders documents naming Jeffrey Epstein's associated to be unsealed. Huh. Around January. Isn't that interesting timing to do that? Around January, they're waiting till January. Why not now? Why can't they release it now? I don't know. I'm not a judge, but around January, those are going to be released. But how much front page news do you think that's going to be? Or is it going to be Trump trying to shut him down? Is it going to be shutting down Elon? All these people giving out false narrative, right? It just flipped, guys. You have to finally ask yourself, are you done playing the puppet game? Guys, it goes left, it goes right, it goes up, it goes down. But what is always the same is God. God, God, God. God is my president and CEO. Jesus, I'm his running mate. Simple as that. I don't care what religion you are. I love you. I don't care what belief system you have. I love you. You're not raising my family. Trump is not raising my family. Trump doesn't help me invest in my crypto. He doesn't help me exit the markets. He doesn't help me set up Index Universal Life. I make those decisions. I make decisions whether I'm going to text lustfully, whether I'm going to text positive. I make the decisions when I'm going to pull up on my web browser. I make the decisions of what's on my social media feed. I make the decisions to look at my debit card transactions. But if you look at man or woman's debit card transactions, you look at their social media feed and you look at their web browser, you could probably see where they're, and their friends, you can see where they're going to be in 5 years, guys. This is about raising your higher consciousness right now. So here's exactly what I'm doing, my exact blueprint, okay? And in the 16-page guide down below, you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So now I'm heading to the next phase. So phase one is cryptocurrency. That was my phase one. So in cryptocurrency, so we created Merlin because we were using spreadsheets, 36,000 lines of codes. Everybody should own Merlin. Okay, it's 30 days for free. You should all go in and practice what's called your exit strategy. Let me show you this, okay? So it's right here. You're going to see your exit strategy. You go in there. Everybody has to have an exit strategy because think about this, okay? A Bitcoin halving is going to get approved. Okay, it's probably going to happen during all these crazy news, so a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. Then Bitcoin ETF. Then you have the Bitcoin halving. Then you're going to have interest rates coming down on the back end of the year with this crazy presidential election, and that's going to cause hyperinflation in this type of economy. In a normal positive economy, lower interest rates causes great economics. In this type of economy, is going to destroy the middle class. So if you're looking to buy a home, this is your time. Buy it during high interest rates, guys, because I own a $600,000 single family home. That thing is going to shoot over $1 million guaranteed when interest rates drop. So if you own assets, you're in great shape. But remember, what goes up must come down. It will come down hard. So I'm going to be exiting 50% of my crypto portfolio. From there, I will be max funding my Index Universal Life policy. I don't know if it worked for you, but it's worked remarkably for me. I secure my principal. Okay. I'm compounding my money. I'm also able to borrow against the cash value if it's set up properly. Very important. Set up properly. I can borrow against the cash value and I can buy back into crypto when it dips. Or I can buy real estate, or I can buy precious metals, or I can invest more into my companies. Okay. For me, business has been my biggest wealth builder. I have equity in multiple companies. I've scaled my companies. I'm now the CEO of all the companies. I have a COO and a CFO that runs the companies. Okay. So I've got myself out of the business and I'm running the businesses. So I have freedom of time. I have freedom of cash flow now. Okay. So with that cash flow, I'm always making sure it multiplies. So I'm in silver now, not a ton of silver, but I'll be getting more into precious metals, specifically gold next year. Real estate. As I said, I'm not a real estate expert, but I've surrounded myself with experts, and I will be getting into real estate for tax liabilities, okay, or depreciation, excuse me, and then the interest off of the taxes, okay. Now the next phase, and it's actually in process now, which I'm very excited about. I'm setting up what's called the Rockefeller Trust. Okay, when you meet with my insurance agents, they can refer you to our trust attorney, one of the top trust attorneys in the United States. Okay, so I'm sitting down with them. We're in the process. All the documents are being done, the deeds of my real estate, things like that. I'm setting up what's called the Rock. There's different levels of trust. So this is one of the highest levels they have, which is Rockefeller. So Rockefeller is basically the setup, okay, where basically, and I'm a baby in it. I'm just learning. It's like my mind is like, boo. This is why I know now that the tax codes are not designed to keep you poor. They're designed to make you wealthy. You just have to understand it. You have to stop getting out of the doctor state of mind. So I'll have a Rockefeller Trust. It'll be done in about a month. And basically all my assets, all my insurance, real estate, everything will be underneath the trust. Okay. And basically it feeds itself, right? So every single child born into my family will have their insurance policy going into the trust. When they die, the death benefit goes in the trust and it expands and expands, and I'll have rules, parameters within that trust. And as I die, I know that I did the godly thing to help generation to generation. We're also setting up a foundation, right? So we have a foundation where we can park money in there for affordable housing. Just this is all these things I'm learning right now. Okay. Remember, when you hear these things, oh, the rich don't pay taxes. Well, guys, they own a lot of companies. We pay a shitload in payroll taxes, all those different things, guys. So when you see an entrepreneur and you say they don't pay taxes, they pay a shitload in taxes, guys. But there's vehicles that you can help mitigate tax liabilities by adding employment, by giving to charity. There's all kinds of things you can do. So these are, now again, I'm just learning this stuff. So that's the next phase for me, which is generational wealth. Now I spoke this into existence, guys. You've been following me since 2020. I said I was going to do this. I spoke it into existence boldly. I have went from faith to knowing now. And I share with you guys, we will build $1 billion ecosystem. We will. It's here already. I already believe it. It's already done. It's already finished. So I'm trying to help as many people as possible within my ecosystem become millionaires. And if I can help more people, I would rather make $2 million and be surrounded by people who make six figures. I'd rather make 10 million and have a bunch of millionaires around me than me making 30, 40 million and my people not eating well, right? If I'm eating well at the table, I want my family to eat well. And if they're eating well, I want their family to eat well. And the more that I do that, and the more that I help other people succeed, the wealthier I become, and I become the richest man in the world. It's not about me. This is about others. This is about expanding consciousness, about love, high frequency. And it's about my relationship with God. And that is what makes me the richest man in the world, because you could take all this physicality from me, the financial freedom, all that stuff. It'll all come back because it's here. It will come back to me super fast because I mastered it here. I already know. What did Jacob say? He saw God face to face and he called it pineal. Jesus said the singular I, he called it pineal. And many of you guys are going to comment down here. I highly recommend you ask yourself this question. Why do you believe what you believe? Keep asking that question until you find out the origin of why you believe what you believe. Jesus was the greatest teacher and the greatest master of all time. Remember, you can, you will, you must. You should never give up. You are the great I am. That's what God told Moses, and his name became the great I am. I am powerful. That I am. I am wealthy. That I am. It's all about intentions. It's all about your heart. To see a man's fruit is to see his heart. And what's done in darkness comes to light. Study what it means to pray in your closet. It doesn't mean you can't pray in public. Dive into origin, guys. It has nothing to do with you can't pray in public. It has to do with how the brain works in darkness. Go study, go deeper, go into origin. God is real. God is so real. Jesus Christ is real. Okay? Go deeper, guys. Go deeper on why they call him Jesus Christ. His name is Yeshua with a Y. Go deeper. Just all I'm trying to do is challenge you and maybe get, kind of trigger you a little bit so you'll go study and you'll go deeper and deeper and deeper and you'll see. Seek and you will find. Find and you'll be disturbed. Once you're disturbed, you'll be astonished. Once you're astonished, you'll realize that you're actually the king and queen. Warriors, get your shit together. Love you guys so much. Talk to you soon.